How to improve your bankruptcy practice with the best hack? That is the question we asked bankruptcy attorneys at NACBA in Los Angeles last month. And this is what we came up with. You're going to hear it in their own words, how debtor attorneys around the country in all these different markets used a hack to streamline and improve their bankruptcy practice.
There's a feature on Best Case called My Case Info, and my clients who are technologically savvy enough to go online and input the information, that with the credit report, I spend more time now fine-tuning cases as opposed to just doing basic data entry. It's revolutionized my practice.
I don't know if it was a hack, but just coming to NACBA this year, I've just got off the couch with a guy in San Francisco that has more active Chapter 13 files than literally I think have been filed in the whole state of Wyoming in probably the last 5 years.
I use workflows, and that really helps us know what is the next step in the process.
I'm struggling with that term.
How about a tip or trick? Tip or a trick?
There are no tricks. You just have to be in the office and be there for your clients. You can't do it at a distance.
I guess reminders, number one. I mean, just making sure that people remember, like a dentist office, you forget. Even up the day of, you forget. So continuing to reminder calls, text, emails. So I don't know if that's a hack, but it's just another way to help clients, stay in the loop.
I've really appreciated what Best Case has been able to do for me. So that's not really my doing. It's just that I use them and try to make sure I take advantage of what all they offer. Well, I would say the best hack that I've used is 3 pillars to do my initial intake. Some of those calls are the best calls that we get. They cut down on time. They make it so that we can go directly into how our process works at a granular level instead of having to go at a high level in a longer intake.
So we're still in the process of getting this going right now, but I'd have to say Glade AI. They've been just phenomenal working with them, and we're excited. We've already seen some benefits. We're excited for all the rest of them.
Best hack, it's been Glade AI. I got very familiar with my case management software.
I think the best thing that we used is starting to go online and getting more paperless in the office, more digital DocuSign things, electronic filing, having clients upload documents through a portal. That was something that really streamlined our bankruptcy process.
I have a digital marketer that I brought in about 10 years ago, and he was able to consolidate our database and send out emails to all of our clients and also request the testimonials, which resulted in our office having close to 900 testimonials on our website, which speaks for itself.
Okay, the good question. Probably many things, but I would say recently, probably CRM tool.
So I have a contract paralegal now. I'm the face. I do all the phone calls, but she does a lot of the inputting, and it saves me so much time.
I've gotten really good at using Best Case. I'm thinking that maybe this Glade AI may be the future. I'm looking into that. Just basically collecting the documents up front, making sure that when you have the initial consultation, that the clients are prepared to bring the documents into you, that you collect the driver's license, social security card, the bank statements and pay stubs at that particular point in time. That saves a lot of time.
I started using an intake company called 3 Pillars, and that just freed up a ton of my time. It got me that 90% of the information I needed, which allowed me to retain clients a lot faster.
When I started doing bankruptcies about 15 years ago, the process was much more paper-oriented, and we've gotten more automated to where we have clients giving us their documents on a secured portal and filling out their intake questionnaire online. So that has streamlined the process quite a bit, made it a lot easier.
AI.
So I've been experimenting with different systems, different things. We have the Clio Duo, which helps us analyze documents, and we've been using that to check on before we used to manually check for expenses or transactions over a certain amount. Clio Duo does that for us, so it's really cool and easy to use.
I think the best thing is to have a production, to have it be like a assembly line where you have case managers working up a petition and hand it off to the attorney to review everything.
20 years ago, I started doing
programming of all our forms and whatnot using a program called Hot Docs, where I can actually program in all the fields. I can program in all of the lawyering so that I could push down the creation of the forms to trained lawyers, new lawyers, but also down so that paralegals would put out stuff that's letter perfect. And the way I have them set up, it also serves as training tool. That's just one of many things that we've done.
Some of the automations, and especially like, COVID kind of shut everything down. And people had automations, before that. But one thing with the COVID shutdown is people get more used to some of the automations or Zoom, or, we have some courts, Zoom court and meetings. So the follow-up, the way Phil does, and there's other systems that do the same thing. The follow-up is key.
Probably reading proof of claims closely for litigation.
Making it a paperless business, allowing clients to input some of their information themselves.
If you're doing bifurcation, make it a short-term payback and get a little money up front so you got skin in the game. And they're paying you back when they still think they need you.
For me, the thing that streamlined my practice the most was utilizing automation and ensuring, from one process to the next, same thing happens for a client each time. So automating that task helps ensure that everybody's receiving the same service, whether no matter when they file.
Somebody else answer my phone and not me.
Hello, I'm Philip Tyrone with 720 System Strategies. We help bankruptcy attorneys and debtor attorneys make more money, become more profitable. You heard in their own words. Number one, automation, tech, right? And a common conversation we hear when people contact us is, well, how does that work? And basically what it means is we take two softwares. It doesn't matter what type of software you use, whether you use Glade or whether you use Best Case or whether you use fill in the blank practice management software, and combine it through what's called like a superhighway, like an automation where they talk to each other. That's the number one thing. If you have any questions about that, we can explain it. The next thing we heard was Glade AI mentioned multiple times along with Best Case. Now, Best Case is expected. They're the 800-pound gorilla. 85% of the market share goes to Best Case. Glade AI is brand new, a year in, and they're trying to compete on petition preparing and automation, doc collection, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to see how this plays out over time, future videos on them. We heard about 3 pillars, bankruptcy intake. 3 pillars is closely aligned with 720 System Strategies. We work with how to get a lead from an interested party to on the attorney's calendar, ready to file bankruptcy, right? If you have any interest in that or learning about that, just set up a private Zoom strategy call and we'll share with you how that works. We're seeing outsourcing across the board in the bankruptcy platform because the practicality is an attorney shouldn't be doing some of the things they've been used to doing. Our strategy call with James Howson, talking about how he went from collecting $3,000 a month to $100,000 a month, right? That's on our YouTube channel. Look for that video. He did that through process management and outsourcing. Anyways, thanks for watching. We're going to have 4 more videos coming out, one every week for the next 4 weeks. All the information is given to us by debtor attorneys, your colleagues, building their bankruptcy practice to make it more profitable. If you have any questions or would like a private bankruptcy strategy session, just click the link below this video and you'll be able to schedule it free of charge. We're not into selling people into our service. We present our options, and if someone feels it's fit, that's the best way. We do month-to-month agreements. We're not going to push anyone into anything. Thanks for watching.